Today I decided to spend next 10 hours learning how to play Mei. Here is how it went. So I decided not to spend any time watching guides or looking at the VODs, and that was probably the worst mistake of the whole 10-hour challenge. I was suffering quite a lot. The second I started playing, I got hit by Fire and Mercy, and I had to switch to Cassidy in order to be a little useful. Then I switched back to Mei, and let me tell you, I did not feel like I am having any value. Like, for example, here, just wallet, bro. I was so clueless, so confused. Like, the kit seems exceptionally easy, but at the same time, it is so hard to do anything because, like, you're just not ready, right? You're just not ready. So the hour one was pretty harsh. I would say that the second hour was a lot better than the first one. In the first clip, I pretend that I'm very much useful as a DPS player. Oh my god. My wall placement is still horrible. My ultimates were... What was that? What was I thinking when I was throwing that? What is that wall, bro? It's just horrible. Like, looking back on the whole experience, I'm so much better than this, honestly. Right now, like, this clip shows what am I doing? Like, absolutely, this was good. I blocked the tank. Oh my god, the tank was suffering so hard in each and every single game against me. There were players that were thinking that our comp is just horrendous, and there was a moment where, like, yo guys, can you switch up the comp? It's too disgusting. Then here I got nanoed. We spent 3 ultimates. It's all fun and games. Yeah, that was great. I landed a few icicles here and there. The game was absolutely harsh, and honestly, I think I would have won it if I would be my like final product instead of 2 hour, but yeah. I think on the 3rd hour mark, I finally realized that there is time and place for Mei, and you cannot really spam it into every single map on every single comp, simply because there are possibilities and limitations to that particular character. Obviously, there are universal heroes like Kiriko, Ana, Ball. You can literally take it on any map and they're gonna be great and useful. With Mei, you cannot really take her in dive comps, only in brawl ones, right? Like, if you go for my progress on the 3rd hour mark, I felt that I'm more confident with my icicles, which is right click. I'm more confident with my walls. They are a lot better than they were before. I finally found out that I need to be more aggressive because of the 250 HP pool and stuff. Was it great? Not really, but I still stick onto it. I realized a very interesting thing. The only character that can bully Reinhardt in the current meta is Orisa. And Orisa is getting bullied by Mei, so you really want to have that combination. I really want to try that with my friend sometime and pin some players onto the walls that I built. That would be great, and like bully some Orisa players who think that they will be able to counter us. That's gonna be awesome. My walls are a lot better on the 4 hour mark. I understand my damage with my left click. I left click more up close. I have no idea why I did not do that earlier. I don't forget to press my shift to save myself, which is also great. My ultimates are a lot smarter than they were before. And I see great improvement overall in my gameplay. Like, the tank players are just suffering tremendously. I think I trapped this particular tank player like at least 5 to 7 times a game, and that was just horrible. He was suffering quite a lot. I felt great. That was the game where I'm like, yo, this is actually great. I actually can like make it work, and I understand why people say that Mei is a really strong character. A lot of people don't understand how to counter her in ranked. A lot of people don't get like the basic idea of what she's capable of, and this is when you can actually div players. This was my second day of the challenge, and after a good sleep, I've realized that I'm actually performing a lot better than yesterday, simply because I am recovered, as well as I feel like the brain has the function to really process the information that you get the day before. I was hitting some crazy shots, and like walls were very much on point. The opponents were crying that our comp was exceptionally toxic and stuff, and I kind of agree with them. It was a great kill onto the Pharah, and then we followed up on the second map. Unfortunately, we lost the first one, and we're gonna lose the match to 2 versus 1, but doesn't matter. It honestly does not matter. Like, I was still learning how to play the character, and I'm pretty sure it takes a lot of time to really master the Mei, but when you do, that's a very much deadly weapon in every good Mei player's hands, and you are exceptionally annoying. I feel like you are even more annoying than Moira to tank players especially. I remember this hour was the moment of revelation where I was like, yo, I can actually make it work. I'm actually mechanically good enough to have value in Master's Lobby. Because when I started playing Overwatch, I was so afraid I was in jail of a single character. I would just play Cassidy, and every single character was just locked for me. I felt that I'm missing value and I'm not capable enough of playing like other characters. It was a great moment when I realized that I can, and every character is useful, but in their own way, and I'm gonna prove it to myself later on in the game. So we actually came back from like 75-0, I believe, or maybe something like this, but that was horrible at the beginning, but then we kind of caught up. I was going for some great walls. The opponent started playing Sigma, which is incredibly horrible against Mei. It's just a direct counter, but then I switched to Tracer for the last minute, and I realized that Mei is just not an S tier character. Like, I was so much more useful on Tracer, especially on a push map. Surely there are maps which are so much better on Mei, but again, very, very interesting. I'm pretty sure there is a moment in every single practice that you are doing, whether going to the gym, learning the piano, the first few weeks, months, or even years are horrible. You are not having any fun. You don't understand how both hands work when it comes to piano, or your muscles hurt a lot when you're going to the gym and you don't see any results, but you still stick through and continue the practice. This is exactly how it went on Mei, and on hour 7, I felt like I can just have fun on the character, you know? I can actually just have fun. My walls are great. Like right here, I just walled off Mei, and Orisa was completely out of heals. No way to help the tank. I felt that even though I was losing, I was still valuable. I still had fun, and that was the most important thing that I was striving for and going for. The fact that you can have fun on a character. Is Mei S tier? Not really. Not in every single comp. Can you make it work? Absolutely. Can you hit GM with it? Absolutely. Do I plan hitting GM with Mei only? No, that's gonna be very stupid. Like, doing 10-hour challenges, I realized that you really want to have a rotation of the characters. Like, you want to play rock, paper, scissors. Like, it's the easiest and fastest way to get the desired goal for me, which is to hit GM, to switch characters and adapt to the meta and opponents playing against you. They call me the bane of every Genji's existence, because I honestly don't know the worst character to play against on Genji than Mei. My walls were absolutely on point. My icicles were great. The whole team comp was just dying against us. I was useful. I felt that I am doing something. Finally on May. It takes time. There are characters who are so broken that you just take them, and hour 0 you feel like you are amazing and everything. Not on May. You really need to learn how to place the wall, you really need to learn how to throw your ultimate in a correct way, you really need to communicate with your team and be vocal with what you're doing. For example, right here, I'm like, yo, I absolutely need help, boys. I absolutely need help. And they're like, yep, we're coming. That was great. We actually turned it around so well. It's like when you don't understand what's gonna happen next in the movie, this is exactly how it's gonna go. Orb is also suffering tremendously here. He's like, where is he? Where is he? Unfortunately, I was not able to trap the ball here with my wall. That, you know, this ball was like, he would be 100% dead. Unfortunately, I missed my wall. No one is perfect, as you might say. That was the luckiest headshot I've had so far on May. Yeah, but we got it. We got it at the end. The game was pretty easy. Our 9 game was by far my most satisfying and highest elo game at the same time. I'm pretty sure my tank was a GM, their tank was a GM, their soldier was a GM, and oh my god. Like, the fact that I could not do literally anything for the first 2 points of King's Row defense was like, holy, maybe May is not for me. But then we kind of adapted our play style, we started playing a little bit better, and managed to defend the last and 3rd point for more than 3 minutes. And oh my god, was that satisfying? What that was actually incredibly cool. Again, one of my coolest games I've played so far. If you would want me to pick a single most satisfying game I've played, like, look at this guy. He's just protecting his Mercy from dying with a shield. That sounds very simple, but how many players really do that? How many Reinhardt players would have just like shifted forward and just like, you know? That's the difference. That's the difference in like skill level. And oh my god, that soldier was such a pain for me, but I was able to diff him at the end of the day, and that was the most satisfying thing I've ever done in Overwatch, it feels like. The game was challenging, the game was on the edge, like no one thought they would win the game, no one thought they would lose the game, so everyone was confident in their success at the end. A very interesting thing we did, we played May Sombra, and that was actually very, very good. It worked really, really well against them, and you will see that the EMP is gonna be absolutely massive in the end, and we were able to just cruise through them. I got 2 incredible picks here. I have no idea how I did this. I have actually no idea how I did this, and we got insanely good time against them, and then this is gonna be the first round of overtime. We're gonna just blast through them immaculately. Oh my god, if that's the word, I have no idea. But that was an amazing game. Like, if you would like put me in a situation where I suffer for 9 hours just to play this one game, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be the game. This is like delayed gratification kind of stuff, like with the marshmallow, if you if you know the experiment, you know, when the dude is like, do you want to eat a marshmallow now, or do you want to wait and get 2 in the end? Like, this is exactly what happened with my May. Oh my god, like looking at the footage right here, whoo, sheesh, that was great. That was actually awesome. Hour 10, and I want to give you my final thoughts on the character. I said that May is not an S tier character. In my personal list, it is. In terms of enjoyment of the character, my most enjoyed characters were Widowmaker as well as Kiriko. I would say May is gonna be number 3 in S tier on that list. I had so much fun walling off tanks. I had so much fun, like just spraying that, how is it called, the left thingy, right? It was giga amazing, but you really need to have correct circumstances to play Mei in order to get the full potential out of her. You really want to ask your tank to not play dive tanks, because that's gonna be really unproductive. You really want to ask your tank to play something like Reinhardt or Matra, very, very good characters that can benefit your wall placement, that can actually make a great synergy with your beam, or how is that called? The left click, the slow. Oh my god, the Reinhardt, it would be a perfect candidate for that. Another thing I noticed is that there are some maps which Mei is pretty bad at, and I would say that they are maps with like big spaces where you cannot utilize your walls correctly. And after watching a lot of Overwatch League scrims, I came to realization that people don't usually play Mei on those maps, right? Quite a few push maps are like not really good for you in that way and manner. Yeah, I would say that Reinhardt, like looking at this footage right now, I would say the Reinhardt is gonna be the perfect tank for you, simply because there are no good counters to Reinhardt right now except Orisa, and you absolutely demolish Orisa with Mei, with the slow, with the wall. Like the character is just giga useless when it plays against you. So Reinhardt kinda has the room to breathe and diff the opponents. Zari is not a problem, other characters are also not a problem. Speaking of the best characters against Mei and the worst characters against Mei, so if you want to counter her, I would say the worst one would be Widow on Widow maps. Like, what do you do? You cannot, like, you can try to icicle her, but that's it. For the tanks, I would say that, I don't know, couldn't say that. I would say, like, Mei is great against Genji, Mei is great against Sigma, Mei is great against Orisa. Overall, just a great character, and I highly advise you to play it more, give it a try if you haven't. That's gonna be it for me today. Thank you very much for being here. See you in the next one. Take care.